What is up, guys? Welcome to Instagram Marketing Secrets episode 76. Today I am declaring this episode as the start of season 2 of the podcast. And the reason why is I'm committed to significantly leveling up my content on the podcast, on my Instagram, on everywhere that I put out content, on my Facebook groups. I'm really committed to leveling everything up. And what I did last week is I recorded a ton of video content, because obviously that's one of the biggest things that we're missing when you just listen to my podcast. Is some of the things, especially on today's episode even, I will warn you in advance, that are easier for me to explain visually. And I'm going to explain today's episode as best as I can, and you will understand it. But a lot of these things are easier to understand from a video perspective. And that's why last week I went on an absolute video recording binge. And I just posted some new content on my Instagram on how to create viral content that also sells your product. Okay, or at least high quality content that has the chance to go viral that also sells your product. Because a lot of people find that, when I post something funny, it goes viral, but when I post my product, it only gets a few likes. So I'm going to teach you how to combine those two worlds and create viral content for your market by doing a case study of 3 people that I've worked with for a while now, and they had accounts that really weren't progressing nearly as fast as they wanted to, or getting the sales they wanted. And I'm going to go into their accounts and show you exactly what we needed to do. So it is a step-by-step walkthrough. Like, it's super valuable. It's about a 20-minute video training, and that is linked in my Instagram bio. You don't even have to give me your email or anything. If you just go to that page, you will just see the video for free. So go on my Instagram, it's IGM Secrets, it's linked in bio, and it's a 20-minute video on how to create viral content that sells your offer, and as well as 3 rules I have for content production of how to always attack content production with confidence. I think a lot of you will really resonate with it, so I can't talk up that video enough. It took me a long time to create yesterday, and I really trimmed it down for quality and maximum value. So go check that out on my IGM Secrets bio link right now. And then I just put out another video in my Facebook group, Instagram Marketing Masters, that is called 5 Ways to Speed Up Content Production. So in this one, I go through a bunch of examples of apps to use and what they can do for you. So that's why I wanted to create a video so you could actually see the visual aid with this would be pretty necessary for you to make a decision on what you want to do with, like, getting apps and how you want to plan your content. So you'll get why that needed to be a video and it couldn't really be a podcast episode. And that is in my Facebook group, Instagram Marketing Masters. Just fill out the questions and I will let you in. Last thing before we get started on this episode, and if I haven't said yet, we're going to be doing designing your account to convert for maximum profile visits into followers. For when people get to your account, what page theme will help us convert for followers, and what page themes might you be doing right now that is totally screwing over your account and your engagement. There are a lot more bad examples of account page themes out there than good ones, so be listening up. But guys, the last thing I was going to mention is we are going to do a roast of your Instagram. If you didn't know we did this before, this is a opportunity for those of you who want to work with me directly but don't want to pay me anything, get to do so. So it's the roast. You get to come on one at a time. We are going to talk live. You and I are going to be the only ones able to talk on the video, and we're going to go through your account for about 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm going to tell you everything that I would do to tweak it for maximum conversions for followers and sales, and it really should be beneficial for you. If you want to see kind of what the roast looks like, you can watch the old roast, which is at the very top of my Facebook group, which has been very valuable for people to see, even if it's not your own account. But what we're going to do is it's going to be in a couple weeks. I'll announce the actual date very soon. All I'm asking, guys, if you go like my Facebook page, just called Derek Videll, all right? It's just my name, and this page owns the Instagram Marketing Masters Facebook group. Once it hits 150 likes, that's what I've been saying, is that I'm just going to announce that we're going to start it then, and I'm going to announce the date and time and everything from that page. So just know that will happen in the next week or two, but you're going to want to be quick. It's going to be first come, first serve, and we are going to hop on live. It's a lot of fun, trust me, and we'll be on for hours. You know, you can just come and get your account roasted and then leave, or stay for the whole time, but go like my Facebook page, just called Derek Videll, Derek Videll, and he's the owner of the Instagram Marketing Masters Facebook group. So many long titles that I've chosen for my groups and pages and everything like that. But I explained why in my last podcast episode, if you haven't heard it yet. So anyways, guys, without further ado, let's just do a quick word from my sponsor, and then we're going to dive into some massive value. Let's do this. All right, guys, let's get into it. So designing your page for maximum conversions for followers. Your content theme, like your page, if you follow some type of design or at least looks uniform and nice and professional when people first get to it, rather than a cluttered page with way too much text, with way too much going on, or just no theme at all, and some of it's high quality, some of it's low quality, some of it's high brightness, some of it's low brightness. If it just looks off to the human eye, it just is off-putting and is just going to make converting them for a follower that much harder. So what we're really talking about today is how to increase the first impression that you leave with people from their first look on your account. Now, this is the first thing I'm going to say with creating a content theme, and it will make sense when we go into all of the things that people are doing completely wrong with designing their themes. And that is that how your posts look on the feed when people are just scrolling through the feed matters 10 times more than how it looks on your page as a whole. So if your content is taking a dip of how it looks on the feed, in order for it to look good on your page, you are going to screw over your engagement. And if you screw over your engagement, you can't get profile visits. And if you can't get profile visits, you can't convert followers in the first place. So it doesn't even matter how cool your account looks. So some of the things that I see people doing out there that you need to stop doing is the white border around your content. And I know it looks cool when you go to your page and every photo has this big white border around it. Some people even do like a thick white border around your photo. And when you look at it on the feed, all it looks like is an extremely tiny photo that's very low definition by default because it's so few pixels. And when you go to your page, then it's like, oh, it's a bunch of white squares and like the content in it. Cool, I like the theme, but it doesn't matter because it's not getting liked on the regular feed. So it can't trend, it can't go viral, it can't find you new people. So that is a big mistake. Don't do that. Instagram likes full color images where the whole 4:5 vertical crop ratio image, as it should be, is all color, not a big white border of nothingness, all right? And it's less pleasing to the eye too, because like I said, it's just naturally going to be less pixels, so it's going to be a much lower definition photo, and lower definition is the worst thing that you can do for hurting your reach, okay? Another thing that people do wrong is they pigeonhole themselves into producing a certain type of content forever. So what some people like to do is just like a color theme that it's like, okay, I always have to stick to this one color theme and this template for my infographic, and it can't be a carousel, it can't be a video, I just only post, like a lot of infographic business pages will pick their color, and then they just make all of these business memes, which are basically just recycled business tips that they heard somewhere, and then they make little illustrations with it in Canva, and they just keep with the same theme. And it will look cool. However, it makes it so that you can't level your content up over time, or at least you're less likely to, because you don't want to violate your page's theme. So if your page theme is pigeonholing yourself into producing a certain type of content, that's not good, because you guys have probably heard me say the way to always algorithm proof yourself on Instagram is to always be up leveling your content. So always try to get each post to be better than the last post. If you have that guideline, then that is going to always be propelling you in the right direction. But if your template is pigeonholing you to staying in a certain way of producing content for a while, then that is a big mistake for how it could be, plateauing your success at that level. So you don't want that to happen. And then the last thing is that they try to produce a content theme where all of the images, all the image thumbnails when you're looking at your page combine to make a photo all together. Maybe you just use 3 posts where all 3, if you look at it on your page, it makes a photo. But again, when you look at those 3 individual posts on a regular news feed, when people are swiping down, they're like, I don't know what the hell this is, so they don't like it because it's just a third of a photo. And if you post those 3 photos and all 3 of them get less likes than you're used to getting, then that 4th time you make a post, that one is going to have its engagement killed because you just tried to follow, you just tried to do something that looks good on your page, but not good in the feed. And that is the main violation that you can do. So that's the main rule that you just got to always reference when considering these page themes that I'm about to talk about when deciding what to do with yours. Okay, so let's go into the 5 major types of page themes that I see out there. The first one is what I call the 1-1. This is where you do type A content, type B content, type A, type B. And this could be white background image, black background image, white background, black background, and you just alternate and you make your page look like a checkerboard. And some people do it like a post and then an infographic, a post and then an infographic, a photo and then a video, a photo and a video. There's so many things that you can do, and this can look really cool, and it does make it so you're always doing different types of content. It can potentially pigeonhole you into doing something that you don't want to be like, oh, I really want to share this viral piece of content in my market because it's got such an awesome message that I can share in the caption, and then it's a viral video. Like, you don't want to be in a position where you can't post something that you really want to post or repost just because it messes with the page theme. So when you do the 1-1, I like it to be like totally random thing and then uniform thing, totally random thing and then uniform thing, because that will give you the flexibility to still adjust and improve your content over time. So again, that could be like just any type of post and then like an infographic with the same colored background every time. So yeah, we're creating a checkerboard look on our page. The other is what I like to call the 1-2. And this is where you just do type A content, type A, type A, type B, type A, type A, type B. And what this does is it creates vertical lines on your account, or just one vertical line, if you will, that just every time you post that line going down your page just shifts over to that next column. And it's because you have all of your posts that are similar are all stacked vertically on top of each other. And this could be the exact same examples that we just talked about with, like, it's an infographic, then 2 posts, and an infographic and 2 posts. But we're just trying to create vertical lines on our account. I don't have any opinion on this other than it's going to just come down to how well you execute on it. The third type is what I call the 3-3. And this is when people do 3 types of posts in a row, then 3 types of posts, then 3 different posts. And it could be like 3 orange images, 3 green images, 3 blue. Or if you're an influencer, it could be 3 photos from this photo shoot, then 3 photos from another, then 3 photos from another. And it creates horizontal lines on your page. And I actually like this theme more. And the reason why is it makes it so that whenever you have something to post, you're always going to like make 2 extra posts around that same instance. It just makes it a little bit easier to decide what your next 3 posts should be on. But something that people do wrong is that they do all 3 posts at the same time. What I would recommend, just so that you can have your page theme in action all the time, because if you do the 3-3-3-3-3 and then you just do a single post, it will screw up all of the lines, right? Like, until you have your next 3 posts done, all of your pages, like your page's theme and the horizontal lines, will be all messed up. I would recommend at least spacing them out by a minimum of 3 hours so that you can get better reach, and you can you're not cluttering someone's newsfeed all at one time. And then you can just find, like, pretty much everyone that's active on Instagram will go on every day, at least at some time. And that will just give you a chance that all throughout that day, maybe you do one at like in the morning at 8, maybe you do one at noon, and then you do one at like 5 or 6 for the evening, would be a good way to do it. So you can do all 3 on one day. You can even spread them out over 3 days. But yeah, just know that you will have that time in between the posts where your page theme isn't really active, even though people can see what you're going for. Typically, they can see like, oh, I can see how they're doing 3 and 3 and 3 and 3, and I'm seeing post 2 out of 3 of this next series, and she hasn't done the third one yet. But yeah, like it's not going to hurt you that much. But just don't post them all at the same time. Give yourself a little bit of breathing room between the posts, minimum of 3 hours. The next type of theme is just keeping a color consistent on all of your posts. This is something I do on my aquarium page actually with the color green, because all the freshwater tanks have plants in them, so they have green, and then a lot of the saltwater tanks have green coral in them. So it's not hard for me to choose with all of my pictures and videos that I post to have the thumbnail or the cover of them always have that color in it. And it's not like the same color green, but just some type of green. And it just makes it that it's kind of subconscious. Like if you go through the page and you scroll through it, you don't notice like, oh wow, every photo's got green in it, because it's just kind of part of the image. And it more just looks like good subconsciously that there's that defining theme underneath it. And I do a pretty similar thing with my IGM Secrets page. I'm not as strict on it that every photo has to have green on it, but I have my Pantone codes that I use for the podcast logo and all of my brand's logos and just colors overall, that I will use those colors over and over again, and it will give some sort of a uniform look to your page, rather than just having like a pink photo and a white and a super colorful one and then a boring infographic, and then it's just all over the place. Because when you get to a page and you just see like no means of design at all, even if you aren't like an artsy person, it's just like subconscious that you're a little bit turned off from the account as your first impression. So what we're really doing is trying to increase the first impression that our accounts make on people, because it doesn't take long for someone to decide if they want to follow you or not. So let's let that be a yes. So the last theme that we're going to talk about is using presets. So you could, in Lightroom, you could create presets. A lot of people like to buy Lightroom presets. Why not? Okay. And by the way, like in the last episode when I was talking about like invest in yourself, I definitely wasn't just talking about like my program or my coaching. I'm saying like, if you need a new microphone, buy it. If you need more equipment for content creation, buy it. If you need a video editing software, buy it. Because when you get it, now you are committed to using it. And even if you just like, oh yeah, I bought like Canva Pro for $13 a month. If you do anything like that where you just have some skin in the game, just like if you were paying for an expensive gym membership, it's going to make you more committed to you using it, right? So even like the little things like buying Lightroom presets shows that you are committed to what you're doing, more so than just always trying to take the free route with things. It will just do a lot for your motivation in business to have some kind of skin in the game, trust me. All right, but anyways, like presets. So this means that like the brightness is consistent with your photos. The maybe there are some, like there's a color palette that is common. There is just certain tones, or like you use the same filter every time, right? You're like, oh, I always use the Clarendon filter. And it just gives some kind of uniform look to your page. Again, a little bit more subconsciously. Like someone doesn't see it and be like, oh, they use the same filter every time. But it just gives it that uniform look where like we're just basically matching brightness and saturation and like a color palette overall. Now, one of the best accounts, I've mentioned her like in a few episodes actually a while back, but it's one of my favorite influencer accounts from just an overall page theme look, is Pilot Madeline, Pilotmadeline. Pretty sure about that spelling, but I'm sure you'll find her with typing in Pilot M. She'll come up, and you'll just see that she's got like a nice pink blush, blue, white, basically just a few shades of blue, few shades of pink, and white and cream is like all she uses in all of her photos. And she's got like a very consistent editing process to her photos, and it just gives the page a uniform look. And obviously all of her photos look awesome by themselves, even with no respect to the page as a whole. If you just find her content on your news feed, you will be encouraged to go back and check out more of her content, or like it at least. So remember, that is the main rule. If you are doing anything that makes your post look less cool on the regular news feed for the sake of keeping up some kind of theme on your page, then you are doing it wrong. Because if your photos are not getting the amount of likes that they should, then your engagement is going down. So lead with content, make awesome content, know like, all right, this is exactly what I want to make. This is where I want to go with my content production. Maybe you want to get into video. You want to add music to it. Don't pigeonhole yourself from being able to up level your content, and make sure that it looks super badass by itself on the feed. And then after, think about the design process for how it will look on your page. And even if you do a bunch of videos that have like no color theme or anything like that, you can just add in a video editing software like a single frame into your video that is at the very beginning or the very end that will be the cover of your video. And then you can just set it as the cover. Like as long as that 1 second in your video is what you want your cover or your the thumbnail on your page to be, then you're good. Then you can just have the video be about whatever, but apply a little bit of thought process into, all right, how can I design my page so it has that wow first impression factor when people first get there? I hope this episode is valuable for you guys. Again, go like my Facebook page, Derek Videll. It's getting close to 150 likes. As soon as it hits 150, I will announce the date. And it should be in the next week or two, assuming you guys aren't jerks. And guess what, guys? It's my freaking birthday. So go do it. Come on. That's the way that you can say happy birthday to me. Sorry, I like to be like rough. Like, come on, go do it. But it's good for you is why I'm telling you to do it. Because this roast, it's going to point you in the right direction. If you get on that roast, if you're one of the first people to go like my page and you're in that first original 150 people, not all of you are going to be on. Trust me, like, you know how attendance goes nowadays with live events. I'll sign up for something like 15 minutes before it starts and forget about it. So there will probably be about 20 of you that actually make it on, even though a lot of you want to do it. So I'll have the 20 most committed people to their business and their Instagram success be on there, and I'm going to blow your mind. I can't wait. 5 to 10 minutes, just going to coach you through it. So go over there and go check out my new 20-minute video on Instagram and the new video. There's going to be multiple videos posted this week into the Facebook group Instagram Marketing Masters, and you'll really, like I said, understand why I chose to make video content for them instead of have it on the podcast. So again, thank you guys for listening. I'm going to go enjoy my birthday the proper way, but again, for my present, just go like that page. Come on. It's good for you. Peace out, guys.